What up, traders? So happy new year everyone. I hope you have been having a productive year. I hope you have been trading profitable for this year, and also I hope that you guys have a wonderful and a great trading journey throughout this year. So this is our first YouTube video for the year. So today we are just going to go into a few pairs that we're actually looking at for some swing trading opportunities, which are some high probability setup trades that we are currently looking at for swing trading. So first on screen, you can see we're going to start off by looking at the Usdzar, which is known as the US dollar against the South African rand. So first of all, we're going to start off on our daily and we're going to work our way down as usual. So if you zoom in, you can see what we have on this chart. You can see price have been giving us higher highs and higher lows formation. So overall, you can see we are bullish. Now we're going to pull our support and resistance trend line. So we got our support within that area, and then we are going to work our way for our resistance zone. So now we got our resistance. Right, looking at the current market structure, you can see we are bullish. However, we are approaching this buy zone area, which is a major support that we're looking for price to reject. However, we need to move back to our lower time frame to confirm what price is actually doing before we enter the market. Remember, we're just not going to enter just like that. So let's work our way back down to our 4-hourly time frame. So now we're on our 4-hourly time frame. What we can see is overall you can see that we have a bearish trend inside of this bullish trend. So now that we have confirmed that we have a bearish trend overall inside of this bullish trend, you know what we're going to actually look for. We're going to look for some sort of buying opportunity at some point, and you can see price have been giving us lower lows and lower highs within this channel. So if you move back to your hourly now, let's see what price action is actually doing. So if you move back to your hourly, you can see on our hourly we have a next bearish trend right here, and you can see on this bearish trend what happened. Price have just broke out of this bearish trend. So you can see what happened. Price broke out, push up, and then you can see it's retracing towards our daily support buy zone. So if you move back to your 4-hourly time frame now, because we want to look at our 4-hourly, which is our higher time frame, we want to see how price react within this area before we actually dive in the trade. Remember, we are not just going to go and dive in the trade because it's looking, it's looking at a high probability setup. Not because it's bearish, we're going to look to just go and buy like that. We need to wait for further confirming factors. So what I will say keep an eye on USDZAR. Once price back down into this area, then potentially we're going to get some move towards the upside to test this resistance trend line. So that will be my next move that I'll be looking for on USDZAR. And first of all, I'm going to place my stop loss just below this low. So just below that low, I will have my stop loss. So let's move up to our daily. So we can possibly look for price back into at least 16,000, sorry. So that's my views on USDZAR overall. So as I said before, wait to see how price react, you know what I mean? Wait before you dive in, and you can see this area right here is also a sensitive zone, and you can see price have been respecting this area so many times in the past. So just bear in mind that you can see price actually retest and reject and then move higher. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. My next pair will be Chfjpy. Chfjpy on our daily, you can see it's have our cycles that we already highlighted, and you can see price have been in a bullish trend, giving us higher highs. Similar pattern just as USDZAR. You can see higher highs and higher lows towards the upside. So now that we approach at high, now we're looking for a deeper correction. So maybe we're gonna get an M formation right in this area where we can see price retrace back down to this low before diving in. We already took a sell opportunity this morning on Chfjpy because I have liked the setup. So if you move back to your lower time frame now, let's just remove these joins, move back to your lower time frame, you'll see a better scenario. And what you can see is like price is forming a bearish trend overall in that bullish trend to give us a trend in trend just like what we're actually having on Usdzar. So it's just a moment to wait out and see how price actually play out on this pair, and we already took some entry. We are currently running in profit, and our stop loss is just above that area right there, and we're looking for price to actually fall short towards the downside on Chfjpy. So that would be my next move on Chfjpy towards the downside. So I want to see price actually move back and retrace, and then potentially we're going to see some buyers within this area on Chfjpy. My next pair is Eurgbp. I'm really liking Eurgbp, and what I can see on Eurgbp, you can see that Eurgbp have been bearish for the longest while. Since April last year, you can see it's been in this ascending type triangle pattern. You know what I mean? And we always cater for the market structure. So you can see where I have my arrows pointing at my support and resistance area. So now that you can see where we have a major support where I'm looking for price to approach, which is this expanding type triangle pattern. So let me just zoom in so you guys can see. So you see this expanding type triangle pattern. If you see where price is actually approaching now, it's approaching at this support area. However, we're gonna break Eurgbp down on the lower time frame. So let's just search for a clearer chart on Eurgbp. So let's just remove all these drawings on Eurgbp. So now that we are currently looking at the daily, you can see where we have some dodgy candles already closed out. So you seeing all these dodgy candles closing on our daily, you know what I mean, it says a lot. You know what I mean, this tells us a lot that what can actually happen in the market. Now we are currently hitting that low of the actual pair. So my next move that I'll be looking for on Eurgbp will be bullish. So if you move back to your 4-hourly time frame now, if you look back on your 4-hourly time frame, you can see where we had this bearish channel inside of this overall bearish trend. So it's like a trend. So it's like a trend in trend overall, and you can see what price did. Price actually break out. So let's move up to our hourly time frame, which we're going to look at our lower time frame. So if you look at our hourly time frame, you can see what happened. Eurgbp did break out there, and then you can see price have been just going sideways all the time. You know what I mean? So you can see price have just been going sideways. It's not been pushing any higher. We had a push off, and then you can see sellers take over and then fall sharply. So it's just a moment of time to wait out within this area and see how price actually react on Eurgbp. Sorry, let's just wait and see how price actually react within this support area, and then potentially we're going to look for some sort of buying opportunity for price to actually go long on Eurgbp. So you can see I already have my setup right here. So that's where I'll be looking for price to move back into and then go long. And you can see where my stop loss is currently at 0.82758. You know what I mean? I'm liking this setup, already running in profit. You know what I mean? So let's just wait out and see how it actually plays out here. But overall, that's what I'll be looking for on Eurgbp.